Hey, we're back. Robin and Sarah with Tailored Transitions, and we are again talking about downsizing, and we are on phase 3. So phase 3 includes kitchen, the coat closet, and then we're going to be back into the bedroom.
So just to review, in our last video, we were in the kitchen. We covered spices, cooking utensils, pots and pans, cookie sheets, and then we talked about the bedroom closet, and that should have been a pretty big project.
Are you tired? We hope not too much.
Depending on your closet and the state it was in. So we're still back in the kitchen. Kitchens take a lot of time, so we do spend a lot of time in the kitchen, and Sarah's going to be back in the kitchen.
The kitchen, phase 3. Back in the kitchen. So I'm going to be talking about cookbooks. We tend to have a lot of cookbooks. Some people that we've worked with, they do get really emotionally attached to cookbooks. You know, some of the favorites are from their hometown or from their church, or you know, things like that, or one that was their mother's cookbook. So as you're going through cookbooks, remember that you can always take a picture of your favorite recipes. You might not need the whole book. So if you're downsizing, that space is precious. And so if you can take a picture of your favorites, that would save on a lot of space. Also remember that there's the internet, and almost any recipe that you want to look up, you can find on the internet, and you can look at the ratings and see, you know, how many people liked it. So no more holding on to the magazines, ripping out recipes that you hope to try. I guess that's in paperwork.
Yes.
but know that go through, I bet you can at least go and cut your cookbooks in half. So maybe make that a goal. And some of you might be able to even do more. And also think about where you're moving into and how big the kitchen is. That, I think we didn't really talk about that, but that's an important thing to know how things are going to transfer. So if you know, I have a whole cabinet of cookbooks, but when you move over into another place, maybe there's not a cabinet for your cookbooks. So you really do have to downsize and rethink how you're going to use your space. Understand, how many drawers you have and such. And maybe I'll give a more thorough overlook on that the next time. Cookbooks. We usually only use 3 to 4 recipes from an entire book. You can cut the amount at least in half of your books. Take pictures of well-loved recipes. Get rid of recipes that you haven't tried. The internet is a great resource for new recipes. But look at your bigger appliances. Your waffle maker, your crock pot, bread maker.
Your griddle.
My mom was the queen of appliances. I did not get that from her, I think, because her counter had so many appliances on it that it was just overwhelming to me when I was growing up. But, she actually did use, but, I'm not going to use a pasta maker. Some people will. I'm not going to use even a bread maker. I'm not going to use, so you have to look at your lifestyle and do you use it and how often do you use it? So if you use that maybe once a year, is it earning its keep? Is it earning the space that it's taking up? If it's your go-to and you use it all the time, like, my George Foreman, I use that all the time. So, there's some things that might be worth keeping, and there's other things that, they're just not. You make waffles one time when the grandkids come over, I don't know. You have to make those decisions yourself, but in downsizing, you do have to make some tough decisions sometimes. But think about how often you use it. How often do you use a fondue pot?
Right.
We run into fondue pots a lot. How often are you going to really, really take that out in fondue? And let me tell you a secret. A crock pot can do the same thing as a fondue. That's what I do my fondue and if I'm doing it. So you can get a double use out of something that you might already have. You use your bread maker?
Once in a while. So, but we probably don't need a backup coffee maker or a backup microwave.
Yeah, we'll find that a lot.
We find that a lot. Let the store keep your backup appliances in the event one yours breaks, you can always go out and you can buy a new coffee pot or a new microwave. You don't need to store the extra.
Just because it is useful does not mean it is useful to you. I want those to be drilled in your head.
Appliances. Weigh how often you use it versus the amount of space it takes. Is it earning its keep in usefulness? Donate the things that are freeloading, not being used. Don't use your space to store backup appliances.
The next thing, look at your fridge. So especially if your house is going to go on the market, you want to look at the magnets on your fridge. You know, we have little souvenir magnets and magnets. Oh, that'd be gross. And so when you come in, sometimes it can look cluttered, but it's home to us, and that's okay. But maybe downsize those a little bit, especially if you're going to have people come look at your house and you need to take them off altogether. Dish towels. How many dish towels do you need? Remember, there's laundry.
Mm-hmm.
So really, you know, you have a couple hanging, you know, maybe 4, maybe 5, 6. I would say no more than 6.
However many will fit in the one drawer you have designated for dish towels. So you can fit one drawer for dish towels, and then you might have one hanging.
But that might have to share space with aprons and maybe pot holders.
Right.
So think about, that's a good point, Robin. Think about the space that you have, and that will tell you how many you should keep. But you know, really, you do laundry, you have them, and you probably can get away with a lot less.
Kitchen towel drawer. Know your space. Bring only what will fit comfortably. Suggested amounts. Kitchen towels, no more than 6. Pot holders, keep 4 of your favorites. Aprons, 1 to 2, depending on how often you use them.
Canned goods. Look at those expiration dates. We have a lot of canned goods in our cabinets, in our pantries, that are expired, that we had no clue they were expired. And
that's something else I want to just touch on. If you are planning on moving to a different home, you have to pay somebody to pack everything and pay somebody to, you don't have to, but you can choose to pay somebody to do those things.
And to move it.
And to handle it. So you don't want to be paying somebody to handle things that are outdated or expired or need to be thrown away. So it really does save you money in the long run to go through all those things, and your freezer as well, and take out what's expired or you're never going to use again or not good, and throw it away, and then you don't have to pay for it to be handled.
And if you're moving into a place that maybe they provide meals for you, then know that, and so it's not, maybe the food's not expired. You know, there are food pantries that sometimes they'll come pick up, or you can have someone drop them off. You can drop them off yourself, and they'll welcome those items. Freezer.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to tattle on my dad. Okay, my dad is 94. I love him. But he, you know, he saves everything, and he loves his meat. And he has a whole freezer, but he doesn't cook, hardly. So he has a lot of meat that's been in there for years. Well, you know, look reasonably at what you're going to eat, what's in your freezer, and how long it's been there. We're always surprised, you know, how fast time goes by, how fast the years go by, and that fish that your grandson brought you
5 years
ago was still in your freezer. So clean out that freezer. I have to do it when my dad's not looking, just because he feels bad that it wasted. Sometimes we'll feel bad, like, oh, but that's such a waste. Well, it's not any more of a waste when it's in your freezer, not being used and not really edible.
Right.
So just make room so that you can find, when you're looking for fish, you're going to know what's in your freezer, because otherwise it gets buried deep and then it's not any good to you anyway.
Right.
Canned goods and freezer foods. Save your energy and resources by cleaning out expired or unwanted food before you move. Make room so that you know what you have. Food pantries will welcome unopened and unexpired food.
So we're going to move on to the coat closet. You have your seasonal jackets. I'll just tell you what we run into a lot of. Your jackets, umbrellas, boots, hats, mittens, gloves, scarves. Most people typically don't wear all of those, so go through and pick out your 2 to 3 favorite pair of mittens or gloves, your favorite couple of hats, your boots. You may not need as many boots. You might not need ski boots and big boots and dress boots and
don't feel bad about, like, sometimes we run into, well, you know, this person made this scarf for me as a gift, but you really don't wear it. You know, don't feel bad about letting it live another life. Maybe you don't wear it, but somebody else will wear it. So go ahead and donate that and let someone else get enjoyment out of the effort that that friend put into it.
And then how many umbrellas do you use? I keep my, I never use an umbrella, but I have an umbrella.
I do, because my hair gets all frizzy, so I have to.
But you may want to keep your umbrella in the car. Just a thought. So maybe keep one in the car and one in the closet. Car for when you're out traveling, excuse me, and the one in the closet if you want to go for a walk in the rain. And then, so that's it for the coat closet. And if you're moving, know how much space do you have. Really, it's math. So you might have a 6-foot coat closet right now, and where you're moving, it might only be 3 feet. So if you do the math, you know you have to cut what you have in half.
Coat closet, mittens and hats, 2 to 3 of your favorite. Jackets, 1 for each occasion. Light, rain, winter, dress coat. Umbrella, 2. Keep 1 in the car. Boots, only those that you have worn frequently in the past year. Remember, do your math. Keep only what your space allows. Donated things do not become less useful, they actually become more useful to someone else.
And then we're going to move back into the bedroom and just talk quickly about dressers and your bedside tables.
Back to the bedroom.
Now, if you're moving, you can keep the clothes in your dressers and they'll be moved in the dressers. That's for local moves. If it's a long distance move, those of course will get taken out and packed. Pay attention to how many t-shirts you have, your socks and underwear. Are you using everything in your drawers? Shirts, long sleeve shirts, and just go through it. Maybe you don't use the ones on the bottom. Maybe you can, because you didn't know they were there. Or just go through your drawers and then decide which ones you use and which ones you don't use. That's going to be an easy.
Well,
Pretty simple.
sometimes t-shirts are sentimental for people because
Yeah.
they remind them of the race they ran or
Right.
the event that they went to or the town they lived in. And so, you know, maybe take a few minutes to reminisce and then let it go.
And then your bedside table. Some of them come with drawers, 1 drawer, 2, 3 drawers. Go through that. Just see what's in there, see what you need there. And I don't know, that just seems pretty straightforward. Old batteries. I'm trying to think
Let's find what in there.
thermometer. Maybe there's money in there.
Old lotions again.
Old lotions.
Stuffy
Just
stuff.
Stuff. And again, look at it and say, oh, if I keep this in there now, but in my new home, maybe I could use this for some photo albums, or maybe I could use it to store something else that might be more important to me.
Dressers and side tables. Things found in the back or the bottom of the drawer are often not used. T-shirts. Reminisce and let them go. Take a picture if it helps to hold on to the memory the t-shirt is attached to. Perfectly good things can be perfectly good for someone else.
So there you have
And
it.
the Ohio rule,
Right.
only handle it once. And that's another thing to drill in your head. Only handle it once.
Mm-hmm.
And just because it's useful does not mean it's useful to you.
And then your categories, right? You have your keep,
Yep.
you have your donate, you have your throwaway, and you have maybe something that might go to family. If you have pictures, you might have some family members that want that. And then
Eventually we'll have a sell category. We just
Right.
haven't got to the things where really you're not going to sell much out of your bathroom or out of your kitchen, you know, honestly, you know, unless it's a yard sale, and that's a lot of work.
Right.
So eventually we'll add a sell category, but right now in the areas that we've talked about, it's mostly keep, giveaway,
Throw.
trash.
Yes. And again, we're starting in the areas that are hopefully the least sentimental, so that by the time you get to the trickier areas, your decision maker, you'll have a lot of practice. It'll be easier to make decisions, and it won't be.
Oh, you're going to be good by then.
It won't be as overwhelming. So
That's it.
That's it for today.
Okay, thank you. We'll see you next time.
If you would like help with the downsizing process, we offer a free consultation. Contact us at tailoredtransitionsllc.com. We have the experience to make your downsizing easy and enjoyable. Like this video if you found these tips helpful, and subscribe to keep in step with the rest of the downsizing. To know more about us, click the links below to our website and our Facebook page. Thank you to the Taylor community. Check out their link and phone number below if you have any questions.